Okay. Welcome back to Is It Wrong to Check Up Girls in a Dungeon? Anime Review, episode number 47. Yeah, this series is going to get really close to like 60 by the time I finish up basically the season. So here we are reviewing episode number... here we go. Episode 63, Odor. That's the name of the episode. This adapts from the rest of chapter 4. It actually adapts the 5th monologue, as it's a brief thing, and adapts roughly the first 16 pages of chapter 5. It basically stopped page 170. Excuse me. I'd say about halfway through. So here's what happened. So right after Belle agrees to kidnap Sire, basically the Freya family is in a panic. They don't know what Sire is, so they go looking for her. Ice and Hestia go look for Belle as well. And they chase him around. They go to various different places. Like, they're basically on the run like a lot of the episode. And they even go to like a church. Yes, an actual church. In this franchise, we have an actual cathedral, which, according to Belle, this is a place that Belle requested to stop at because he wanted to stop here. Because normally this place is not open to the public. But because the Goddess Festival is going on, that's the only reason why it's able to be open. Like, okay. So, talk about apparently, like, there's this spirit, the remains of the spirit here in Undying, where the story is that it's a very tragic hero story that they tell here, which was really good here. I enjoyed it. I like the fact basically this is not like told in a flashback. Like, you just have stained glass paintings. I'm like, that is really cool, the fact that J.T. Staff did that. I'm like, okay, really cool there. And then right afterwards, they leave the church. They basically get this particular, like, medal to celebrate the whole thing with love because Sire's in love with Belle. Belle doesn't necessarily basically say if he's in love with Sire or not. We'll get to that. So he's like, why don't we have dinner? They're like, okay. So then they end up at the Spoon Goose, I think its name is. Let me take a look here. Because they mentioned it in the book too, just like in the anime. It is called... Spoon Aqua, which is basically by the look of it, it looks like a restaurant steamship. Yes. So they go in, and of course, apparently Belle had requested a table, like reserve a table, which, how nice of them to do that, because I'm sure this place is probably expensive. I'm thinking, like, by the look of this place is probably very expensive. I'm thinking, how the heck did they request basically a table? My guess is probably the reason why he was able to do it is, thing is, Belle is not that wealthy in the series, so he probably was given a loan from probably his mentor. Don't want to tell me, gentlemen. So they have dinner, and meanwhile, though, on the next level up, we have Hestia and Ice basically eating, and Ice is wearing the dress that she wore back in season 2 of the show, where she went to Apollo's ball. Those who forgot about that character, Apollo was a complete idiot who he was obsessed with Belle and not basically add part of his guild, is his familia. And this is the arc that his introduction to the show introduces to the characters of Cassandra and Daphne. Which, if you read about exactly what the counterparts are in Greek mythology, Daphne being part of the Apollo familia makes absolutely no freaking sense, given how her counterpart in Greek mythology is. Daphne wanted nothing to do with Apollo at all. She hated the guy. Because Apollo was obsessed with her, so he stalked her, so the only way that she could get him to stop stalking her, was to transform herself into a tree. That is how the story goes. Here, there's no mention of that at all. She's not even in the episode. She was last episode. Great to see her and Cassandra. So, yeah, and basically it's nowhere in the book that, oh yeah, there was a certain god Ball, which, yeah, visually, if you've been watching the anime since like season one, you can tell like, oh, that's the dress that she wore. Yeah, it's the very same exact dress. She must have dug it out of storage because it's been a while. So yeah, has to eat all this food, and I'm thinking like probably the reason why they're not going to charge her for the meal, and this is my personal theory, because the whole festival is all about some of the gods and goddesses. So my guess is they're probably not going to charge her. And then the Freya Familia shows up, where they freeze the freaking ship, and it was like, what? Why is it extreme? It's like, you got on board, we gotta kill Bell because he took our sire. Like, sire. And of course, where's that rabbit? And of course, running upstairs, and of course, they come across Eyes and Hestia. And this is a bit unusual, basically, for Hestia. This is a case of, it's like, oh crap, it's a sword princess. And he's like, what do you want in business about? Like, none of your business. Basically, he wants to murder Belle. And she's like, nope, you're not doing that. So takes out her sword and gets to fight with the Freya Familia. And Hestia's hiding at her table. I'm thinking, like, you watch this, like, in terms of the anime, like, Hestia's a goddess. Wouldn't they immediately recognize this by her being in a waitress outfit? So, Sire apparently realizes her coworkers are actually on the ship. So, Lou, everybody come out, help us. And like, oh, you knew we were here? So they proceed to help Eyes fight the Freya Familia. So then Sire proceeds to jump off the ship into the water, and Belle goes after her. So yeah. Also, they previously went to like a costume to change clothes, and then of course he of course just takes off a suit coat, and of course takes off her coat that she's wearing, and takes off her shoes, and then they come across the Hero's Bridge. Now Belle mentions he's basically come before, but it's always crowded, and the first time he's been here with no people around, and we see all various heroes. We see a hero he comes across that he has a lot of respect for because of the fact he fought against a black dragon. And also, they mention this pedestal that's across from them, where the reason why it's empty because it's reserved for the last hero who can defeat the black dragon. Someone who needs Oder, per se. Despite the fact there actually is the guy named Oder in the series. He works for Freya. And then, like, oh crap, here comes the Freya Familia. So, Freya's like, I know where we can go. Her room. Where Belle is very nervous because he's in a girl's bedroom. And then the episode ends with Sire taking a shower. And you're thinking, wait a minute, is this sort of medieval society, like the type of series that this world is? How the heck do they have a running shower in this series? Well, they did have an OVA with an actual bathhouse, so this is not all that surprising. I do find the shower thing a bit interesting. I mean, it's almost like this is equivalent to almost 19th century technology here with this series, because it's like, oh, we have a shower head, which in the book, it's mentioned that Sire took a cold shower. Yeah. And basically, this is here to lead to the ending of basically the adaptation of this book. A very pivotal scene that leads into the very next book of the series. That's pretty much the whole point of the scene. It's set up for the very next book. But overall, fantastic episode. I do like the fact that basically we have just Belle, Sire, Ryu, of course, also Hestia, Ainz. They're all here. I think it's kind of hilarious the fact that people at the Freya Familia are like, they really want to murder Belle because they think that. Here's the thing. I think that they might think that Belle might actually sleep with her. And it's almost like implied they know what Sire's secret is. And of course he asks, like, who are you really? And they don't really go into it at this point anyways, because I'm not going to spoil who Sire is really because it's a big spoiler that sets up basically the next two books. They'll reveal a little bit basically who she really is, but I'm not going to spoil it here. I will reveal that a little bit later when we get to it. And overall, right now for the season, we are 3 episodes in, and I believe there's about 12 episodes to go for this entire season. Now, in case you're curious, like, how long is book number 16 of the series? Excuse me. It is 264 pages. Basically, we have less than 100 pages left to go, so my guess is when they finish adapting this book, it'll either be... do I think it might be the next episode? That's a maybe. Either it's going to be next episode, or it's going to be the following episode. But my guess is we have probably about 2 more episodes left to go for adaptation of this book before we move on to book 17. And that book, oh boy. The events of that very book sets up book 18 of the series, which was pretty much the longest. It's longer than book 14. You think 14 was long, being 416 pages? That book is like 450 or 60 pages. That's how long book 18 is, and it's 4 books later. But that book would end the Fertility of the Goddess story arc, and that'll probably end when they finish drafting that one. That will end this season. But in the case of how lengthy that book is, either that they're probably going to do similarly what they did with book 14, where they basically adapted from 2 separate chapters, 2 points book, just because they take place concurrently with each other, or chronological matter. That's probably what's going to happen here. But who knows? We'll find out next week. Now, the only reason why I did not get a chance to do this last night is because there was no time. That was simply the reason for it. Okay, so that's pretty much it, particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, join this like button. And in case you're curious, there is no new anime today at all. This is actually one of like 2 days out of the entire week where I have 0 anime. The other being Tuesday. Because it was for a while where it seemed like almost every single day I have a brand new anime airing, and Tuesday was my only free day. Well, actually, first it was Tuesday. Wednesday was the free day, and then ReZero got added into the week. Now it's pretty much basically just Tuesday and Wednesday now. But time will tell exactly what day will be finished next. Either be ReZero, or it's probably going to be this one. And both are probably going to last for the same period of time. Who knows how long the exact amount is, because for ReZero is debatable. For this one, I think it's going to be 15 episodes. I'm quite surprised it's shorter than last season, but we'll find out and see. So next video will be a comic corner. Okay? Next video. Bye.